Much better. Hey there everyone, welcome back. We are back in modded Minecraft, all of Fabric 6. For those who didn't notice last week's 1000 episode special, I decided to get out of this world and head back to vanilla. Vanilla, disgusting. Ugh. Yeah, well, I had fun. I know it's probably a betrayal of the 999 of you who actually subscribe to watch modded content, but honestly, thanks so much everyone. And fair warning, there's going to be a bit of Spectrum today, so if you don't want to see that, if you don't want the spoilers, if you want to kind of figure it out for yourself, just check the timestamps down below and skip forward. Later in the episode, we'll also be electrifying everything over at our MI factory and hopefully also go on a bit of an adventure. So yeah, just use those timestamps and you can leave all the hidden secrets and mysteries of Spectrum for your own playthrough. Well, we're just here back at the little Spectrum hideaway that we found last episode, when we were hunting down the wardens, and yeah, I was a little bit worried that I'd stumbled across something like, I know there's Spectrum buildings that have like puzzles to get into them. I don't think this is one of them. Like there's no obsidian or anything, it's just kind of standard blocks. So I think it's just a cute little spot with nothing really to unlock, but yeah, we are going to do a bit more Spectrum today anyway, so I thought I'd come check this out first. Maybe let's take a scenic route on the way home. We just get rid of some of those hostiles. Should be a little bit more safe heading down. Because I wanted to finally check out some of these graveyards that we've seen. Because if it's just kind of basic loot here, well, that's fine and all, but I'm fairly certain that these are meant to have like full spawners and other things in them. Maybe not in this particular one. Maybe not in this particular graveyard, but there's a couple of interesting ones around. And there's something like, there's like a boss fight at one of them or something. We'll see. Like this one looks a little different. This one's a bit more serious. There's some whispering going on in there. Heads on spikes. Heads on heads, heads on spikes. Hands. Treasure chests. Ooh, book and quill. Day 140, blood is clouding my vision, dripping from my hands into the ground. We broke their barricades with ease. The corruption weakened their resistance. Not that they were able to fight back. Not against us. Not against him. He collects their blood in a glass bottle. He pours it over the bone staff that one of the abominations carries for him. Ooh. Oh, is this it? I think this might be it. I might have picked it up. An ominous bone staff fragment. So it looks like there's 2 fragments. Right. Well, if I had to guess, I'd say this is boss related. Maybe we'll keep on looking for graveyards. Might not have time to do it all today, but perhaps other graveyards hold other treasures or something. Like just around the corner is a pretty impressive graveyard, a nice big one. I know this guy has a book. Yeah. All right, I've read this book before. What's this one say again? Ordinariness of the village and the daily regime, a blessing for my tired bones. For him, it's the opposite. Each day that passes makes him more tense and quick-tempered. Oh, someone got sick. Skin covered in rashes. Ugh. What is the deal with these graveyards? Just looking in REI here, we can see that there's staves. Some kind of boss. I guess we'll get to them later on. Some nice custom trees. All right, let's travel home. I've got here a tempad that I made. There's one that you get from End City Treasures. That's a good one. And then there's one you can craft just with a beacon and a few other things. And the only difference is this one has a cooldown. I think that's the only difference. Home base. Take me there and you just jump through. That's amazing. That's unrelated to the tempad. Ignore that. Okay, over here at home base, I've just been playing around a little bit with a few Spectrum things, like this wall here of titration barrels. You can check it with a right click. Yeah. Sneak click to unseal. Oh, almost unsealed it. This thing, yeah, I'm just going to let it age up. Possibly for a couple episodes, so like a month maybe, because I've heard, rumor has it that you can actually get much better buffs here the older things are. So we'll see. There's basically one of everything that I'm able to craft at the moment is in there, and I've labeled them so we know what they are. And then over here we have, I dipped some of these, I was dipping some sugar sticks. Let's get our book. Like it says in the book, we could craft these things called sugar sticks. It says immerse them in liquid crystal, hanging upside down, and you put sugar in there and they grow into a rock candy. It also says you might even be able to add more stuff than just plain sugar. I think basically REI might spoil the recipe there. But anyway, I just made a few of them. We've got onyx sugar stick. Oh my God. Definitely seems healthier than snorting them up your nose. So that was what? Onyx. We got some citrine, some topaz, some more topaz because I did it incorrectly, and just regular old sugar. Anyway, and then when you eat that, you get benefits. Like this thing's speed 5 for 15 seconds, which I can't eat because I'm not hungry. If we just take a bit of full damage, lose some of that saturation. There we go. Should be able to eat it. So you get things like absorption, invisibility, jump boost, haste, and speed. Like let's just try the jump boost just out of curiosity. That gives us jump boost 3. Okay, so we can probably dunk the ball now if we had it. I'll keep on playing around with those. Hopefully I can crack the code and figure it out. But also I discovered that with liquid crystal, I heard that, yeah, it grows things quicker. So both the Quitoxic reeds and mermaid's brushes now grow so much faster in the stuff. So it's not really in the book, but in REI here, there is a page, a crystal dip-in. I haven't discovered anything yet. And I don't think that's crystal dip-in. You know, otherwise when we did that, we would have got those recipes unlocked. I think crystal dip-in something else. Let's, how about I just throw a whole bunch of stuff in there, see what happens. Quartz, honey. I imagine it'll mostly be like vanilla-y stuff, but maybe it's got compatibility with other mods. We'll get some meat, some bones, nether warts, and I'm just kind of hoping that this does some kind of conversion. Yeah, so if I'm honest, I don't know what that could be for. All that stuff's just sitting in there, not converting into anything. I don't know. All right, I'll keep playing around with that. Well, something converted. So, resonant lilies. This is an interesting one. The roots of flowers absorb the magical liquid, turning it into elusive plants. So we unlocked one more page here in our book because we threw flowers in there. I mean, they look nice, but do they do anything? Can you eat them? I don't know. I got no idea. Oh, and you might notice there that we've got those things circulating around the fusion shrine with lava in there, so that every time we get a new moon, this craft for onyx shards will just happen. We don't have to be here. And then our black hole chest here will suck it up. And that is a full stack of everything. So some people have asked, how come I have so much onyx? And basically this is why. Do a full stack of those crystals at a time. And then every midnight on a new moon, it'll do its magic and the craft will complete. Black hole chest will suck it up and you can just come pick it up. When it looks empty, repeat the process, you'll be sweet. All right, I have been meaning to find out what this Azurite stuff does. I picked it up a while ago. It negates the duration penalty for lingering potions. All right, not too fast on that. Or you can fusion shrine it to get the refined stuff. And that's going to take as long as it takes. In the meantime... Oh, didn't take that long at all. Oh, we got new books. There's a few too many things that we're unlocking here. Pigment palettes. Azure Dyke equipment. Oh, exuberance is cool. It just gives you more XP. So, Azurite, thank you. But perhaps more exciting, I think, is this stuff that we picked up at the end of last episode, Stormstone. Basically, it just drops during thunderstorms. And it is an ingredient to upgrade your crafting accelerators, to make this thing called a crystal apothecary, and you can even summon thunderstorms. So Stormstone in water. It's a crafting ingredient in a few books, and it's a potion reagent, which we're not going to worry about too much. Okay, the clouds are turning, and hopefully we get a few lightning strikes around here. Those leaves always been there? I'm not sure. What happened to our storm? Oh, I feel a little ripped off. That cost us one of those stones. Let's try that again. That's better. Maybe it needed to be nighttime or something. Okay, hopefully we'll have a few lightning strikes, and these lightning rods, we'll soak them up and we can get some more storm stones. Yeah, we got some real cool enchants here actually. So disarming, applicable to melee weapons, strips mobs of their valuables. It doesn't seem to conflict with anything either, so that's a book worth getting. And Treasure Hunter we recently unlocked. Now Treasure Hunter is mutually exclusive with looting, so it's either heads, which sounds fun, maybe they're ingredients in something, I don't know, or looting. We'll do this one more time. Hopefully we get a few more. I've thrown a whole bunch more of those copper rods down to catch the lightning. All right, let's get some upgrades. Right, well, good news is I crafted up another soul steel sword, this time with treasure hunters on it, as opposed to the one that we have with looting, because I figured the soul steel sword is our strongest sword, like 10.5 attack damage, as opposed to just a 7 for the Terror Blade. But this one's only got 7.5, and the difference there seems to be sharpness. So our looting sword has sharpness 5, and our treasure hunter, i.e. our give us your head sword, has improved critical 2. And just from a quick look at the book, it says that this is mutually exclusive with sharpness. So we're going to have to try and get used to doing jump attacks if we can, for maximum effect. Perfect. Yeah, look, I put down all these guys. Unfortunately, we are down to our very final storm sword, and I was really hoping to be able to craft up a crystal apothecary. We need 3 of them for this. It's such a pain. I probably should have kept a couple in reserve. And the thing is, like, what's a renewable way to pick up these things? Because I've got a few of these lightning rods around the place, but none of them seem to have picked up any of the storm stones for us. So I'm not too sure. Do we use our last storm stone to try and summon up more? Not sure what the smart thing to do would be. But there is this kind of warning that they don't react too nicely to explosions. So rather than waste our last storm stone trying to summon in another storm and maybe leave us with nothing, let's do what the book suggests we don't do, and let's blow one of these things up, see what happens. And maybe while we're at it, we can try out our treasure hunter and see if we get any heads. Idols, egg-laying woolly pig thing. We got our spider head. Seems like heads are recipes and ingredients. So that one gives poison, hunger, wither, weakness, resistance. That's very cool. We can try and make one of those later. First things first. And maybe I'll put a few of these around, just in case what it summons is a huge thunderstorm. All right. And we can see what this does. Nothing? What does that do? Stormstone. Does that do anything? I don't know. Let's try that again. It did something. It did something, but it didn't drop anything interesting. Ah, Spectrum. Who the hell is this guy? Look at these cute mules he has with him. Stay where you are. Let me get in there. Oh, it's Vinery. Maybe we'll use that stuff later. I'm just doing business with you. Right, I got a little bit sick of running around trying to farm up these guys' heads. So I just built a little... So I just built a little quick cursed dirt farm here. And yeah, they all seem to spawn in pretty quickly. And thankfully our big torch, you know, the one that stops mob spawning in an 8x8 chunk area, doesn't seem to work on cursed dirt farms, which is a huge relief. But yeah, now we've got all these heads to play with, and some of them make pretty cool items, like a creeper idol, 2 stardust, all that stuff. Or if you're really brave, use a wither skeleton one for an 8-block large explosion. But maybe the 3-block large explosion is good enough. I'm thinking, what if we replace our TNT explosion there, or at least supplement it with explosions caused by literally just dropping things like sticks on pressure plates? And that might really help amp up our mana production. So we've got 6.7 million at the moment. And remember, oh no, they're fighting each other. Oh, that's not good. They escaped. Oh my god. Okay, there goes that farm idea. One of those jerks somehow started a fight, which led to a chain reaction. There you go. We'll fence it up. Nothing to worry about anymore. I guess we do have alternatives for heads, like our spirit revitalizer setup. Once we get a beheading pylon over there, we probably won't need this anyway. Right, so let's quickly make ourselves up the creeping idol. And this thing is meant to generate an explosion, probably not too dissimilar to a TNT explosion. And then I'm hoping these guys can soak them up and start bringing mana in quicker. Let's disable our request system here. So if I throw a stick, that guy will pick it up. Oh, it picks it up too quick. It picks it up before it can drop. In that case, what if we do it like this? Okay. Well, so we'll travel one at a time. All right, that's not the solution. I guess the first test is whether or not the TNT blast here can be reached by that guy. It can. I was hoping not to have to do this, but let's try with a wither skeleton skull instead. Wither skeleton skull. Oh, that's a wither skull. Yeah, we haven't got any of those. Okay, so with the wither skull now, not the wither skeleton skull. Maybe, oh god, 7 blocks radius. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hopefully this doesn't cause me trouble. Oh god. Alright, does this work? It should drop a stick. That didn't seem to work. I guess it's just not like TNT then. That's a huge shame. We would have found an infinite source of mana had that worked, but that's okay. We are going to amp up our TNT production anyway when we upgrade our MI system. Well, now we got a few more head things to play with, and yeah, there's some cool ones here for passive farms, like you get bee heads and then you can basically trigger fertilizer. You can milk things nearby. There's a whole bunch. You should check that out. I guess when we get into agriculture, I might try and take advantage of those things. But seeing as we're over here anyway, yeah, I wanted to increase our production of the pigments, and it seems like the best way we can do that is through crushing with create the logs or leaves, but logs are probably the easiest because we have them coming in abundance here from just our little hack farm. So how about we do a little bit of create then and get a little crushing wheel set up going on over here. Now, unfortunately, the crushing wheel isn't just available off the bat. You have to go through mechanical crafters, which takes brass. And the easiest way to do that would be mixing up copper and zinc over a heated blaze burner. It's easy enough. There's our mixer. A blaze burner is cheap enough. We'll quickly catch a blaze. I think we'll just do a little bit of a quick hack job on what we have with our current setup here by sneaking some rotational force out this way. Probably just sneaking a blaze burner down there. Now it's this basin on top, and whisk on top of that. Actually, this will probably be easier. We're just making the zinc over at our MI factory at the moment. So just throw it in there, I guess. And I think we can just feed this guy something hot. You can feed it like coal and things, but I think we should be able to feed it a thing of lava to make it go a bit faster. That seems pretty fast. And to make the brass casings, you take your brass ingot, you apply it to a stripped log. Then now, until you get things automated, and we're probably not going to create automated until we head into the agriculture kind of quest line. But until you get things automated, it really is a good idea to do things in bulk. You know, so you're not going back and forth, repeating the same steps over and over again. Now they say they're the same, but clearly diamond's better. Diamond, grit, sandpaper, and then you like hold it in your offhand or something. Yeah, yeah, that's it. And then we turn those into electron tubes, and then you craft up your mechanical rafters. My God, man. I didn't expect to see you here. So that seems to be like this. We could use create to create an energy source here. Let's just chuck our toolbox there. I think we can chuck our, yeah, and you use that to can you put anything in there? You can put anything in there. Okay, that's nifty. And we'll just use that to store our, oops. Oh, it's a quick pick up, put down. We'll just use that to store all the crafting ingredients that we have. Right, so you need to power this thing with rotational force. And you could go the create route and put another windmill back here, or like a water wheel or a furnace or something. What we're going to do instead is use an electric motor, which electric motors let you convert FE into rotational force. And depending on how fast you set it, how fast you want the rotations to go, it'll drain more FE. It looks like to make it, you need to have a mechanical crafter set up as well. So let's do a quick hack job to get that up and running. And everything's going to be, until we work with create proper, everything's just going to be a little bit messy. So I hope you'll forgive me. Desperate measures, what's this for? Drastically slow down to procrastinate on proper infrastructure. Hey, come on. This is all still connected. All right, we're very much doing hack job at the moment, adding and removing pieces as we go along to make sure that we don't run out of stress. 12 copper wires. Oh my God, we need a roller now. And roll some copper sheets. Beautiful. And that was just 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. With you on the sides. And then we fill this line to create that craft. Ever so slowly. Oh, I've been sucked up. Oh, I need to point these things in the right direction. So we craft one side, that pushes it here. We craft another side, pushes it there. That goes down, and that goes up. Hope this works. Alright, but it's just taking a bit long. Where are you going? And craft. We're taking that. So this electric motor is going to take power in on this side and then outputs the signal on this side. And it seems like we can transfer power with either an ender gate or an ender cell. Ender cells are part of a wireless network of energy, or this one which lets you take or extract power. Better for transfer to your machines, but doesn't have an internal capacity, so will not increase your ender network's capacity. I'm not sure I understand what you mean. Ender core. All right, let's go add some more recipes to our power and maybe even give it an upgrade. So we're currently producing 7,000 FE a tick. Niotic would be 18, 60 for spirited, and 300 for nitro. And I gotta say, I would like to be able to just set power to the max tier and then we'll never have to worry about it again. As long as we can feed it items, which I think we can. Yeah, I think we're going to skip a few levels, go from blazing straight into nitro. Go from blazing straight into nitro and maybe even get this trophy while we're here. Right, I better just add a bunch more recipes on here so that our ME system can do all the crafting for us. So bear with me for a sec. All right, I think that is probably all we need to add to the list here. We've just got all the energizing rods and a couple of at least fast enough ender gates and fast enough ender cells. Maybe let's start off by getting the 12 of these guys. We have everything. Give that a whirl. I see a wandering trader out there. Ocean Ancient City Map. All right, we can check that out another time. Put it here for safekeeping. How's this craft going? It still looks like it's got a few more cycles. Yeah, that's going to take a while. I think I'm going to go fire up the coffee machine and we'll come back and hopefully it'll be done by then. Actually, I'm going to cancel that operation. I think we're just going to have to do it in stages because this guy, the reactor just produces so slow and the next level generates at 18k a tick. So let's just upgrade it one level to Niotic. So we just need 36 of these. Just. Hopefully that's quicker. Okay, and then should be able to just demolish this and craft it up like so. I love this. This multi-block craft is pretty fun. The next step is 36 of them. From now on, I want to keep this wireless terminal on me so I can get that little notification up in the corner when the craft is done. So the thing that's slowing us down now is these guys, the energy cables, are only able to extract 20,000 a tick. But this thing is able to give 100,000. Oh, up there on the right-hand side, actually. There's our spirited. We will, again, not forget to put it onto auto mode. Generate 60,000, extracts of 400. And then if we can get 36 of these nitro capacitors, yeah, we'll be set. So much faster. So much faster. Oh, okay. That's where we got stumped. This stuff is 20 million FE for a craft. That's to craft these nitro crystals. 20 million per 16. Yikes. All right, there's our capacitors. And there's our max tier nitro reactor. Be sure to put it onto auto mode. For some reason, we're not hitting the max, but this is going to be producing 300,000 a tick with a max extract of 2 million. And let's just tick off a few quests real quick. We'll craft an ender cell and an ender gate. Just nothing too fancy. The blazing tier should be fine for now. And that's all our power stuff done. All right, cool. Another page in our quest book done and dusted. Now, what do we do with these things? We got an ender cell and ender gates. I'm not actually really sure, to be honest, what the ender gates do. That's a bit confusing to my little frog pea brain, but this thing, the ender cell, seems to do what we need to do. So I think you just get 2 of them and then you set a frequency. We put it there, it's connected. This has a frequency of, I don't know, frequency of 1. You can add capacity to a selected channel by shift-clicking an energy cell or battery to the ender cell GUI. Okay, I seem to have just sacrificed a battery there. And if we take it back, channel 1 has capacity, which we can take out of another one. Cool. Damn, I don't know why that was so tricky. Okay, so energy cell can sit back there. That's now outputting on the 1 for us. We're able to do this. We have rotational force, people. We have rotational force. Then we can kind of sneak around here and say speed up for us. What's the max we can spin that? Beautiful. Maybe 96 will do us for now. Okay, that seemed to have done the job. But anyway, we just slowed it down. And maybe I'll just, maybe I can just kind of do this to turn this whole thing off once we've got our crafts done. And then we got andesite all around. All right. And I think that's not going to work. What? Why aren't you connecting? That would have been good. There we go. And which way is that spinning? They're both going that way. So we need this one to spin this way, and this one to spin that way, so that they kind of crunch down on the items that get put in between there. I believe we should be able to kind of sneak in something there, right? And then we power that spinning right, and that'll pull them down. So how do we get that done? We have crushing. We have crushing abilities. Get some items, like if we redirect these items, get up there, the crushing wheels will do the crushing. And we'll get pigment down the bottom here. We can just reconnect that back up to the system. Cool, that wasn't so hard. I think I made it much harder than it needed to be. Just did a little tweak and moved the pipe that way to, or the item pipe that way, to reconnect with this network, with this pipe network here, and get fed back into here. I mean, if we were to get some pigment and crush it, I'm pretty sure it just gives us nothing. Yeah, I think that's just how you destroy blocks. So I don't really need to worry about having a trash can. So the output of the crushing wheel will come into here to be refiltered. And if these barrels here ever fill up, it won't be able to output them there, and it'll chuck it back into the item crusher, and it'll get crushed over there. We'll check back at the end of the episode, but I'm sure that's going to accumulate nicely. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't look like we've had any storms. In the meantime, no storm stones with which to play with, so I'll have to put a bit of a pause on doing other things, like I wanted to set up the cinder hearth and play around a bit more with Spectrum. That's okay, there's always heaps to do over here at the MI factory. So by now, you've all had a good chance to listen to the soothing sounds of my voice, and I'm hoping that it sounds much improved this time, over the previous videos at least. It's been the biggest hurdle for me, getting my voice to not make people's ears bleed. And I think I finally found the right setup. I mean, I thought previous episodes sounded fine until I uploaded them to YouTube, and it never comes out the way you want it to. Anyway, hopefully we've solved that and it's all peachy from here on out. So here's our current situation. We've got an incomplete factory. Ignore that for now. We've got lots of steel and bronze things, machines, processing the items coming from our quarries over there. And these things are just too slow. Like, they're really great to get started, but there's always going to be things that electric machines require in large bulk that the bronze and the steel stuff just can't supply in enough quantities. So I've had to chuck on a few kind of things here to kind of help compensate. Like, we've got a sneaky copper furnace and copper wire mill, electric, of course, snuck up here because the copper was just way too slow. So it seems like the logical thing to do next would be to start tearing this all up and just replacing it one for one with its electric variants. So this guy is steel macerator, bam, electric macerator. This one, steel furnace, bam, electric furnace. And to help us get a start on that, I put down a bunch of these assemblers, which are crafting. So we've got some water pipes, we've got 32 macerators, mixers, wire mills, unpackers, packers. So rather than craft the stuff ourselves, we've got them here waiting in supply for us. And that's kind of important to do, because imagine the scenario of tearing up some of these and then realizing that you haven't got the machine blocks to replace them with. But worse than that, you can't process any more ore to make those machine blocks manually. You're stuffed. You're really stuffed. And you also kind of face a similar issue with power generation. Sorry, little buddy. It looked painful. And we face a similar issue here with power generation. Got large steam boilers, just 2 of them at the moment, which is producing the steam/electricity for all of our factory here. And if we were going to get rid of this stuff and replace it with electricity, our demand for power is going to shoot through the roof. So before we do anything silly, let's just quickly upgrade our power and make sure we have enough kind of capacity to compensate, you know? All right, so if we take out one of them, we should now be able to make an advanced large steam boiler, which seems to be really similar to the large steam boiler, only it's advanced, produces more. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's not big enough. This one is bigger and badder than that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 high as opposed to 4. Okay, there's an advanced steam boiler, and we've got the materials. I think we've got the materials to make more. So if worst comes to worst, we can just make a second one, and a third one, and a fourth one. All right, I think I've explained this enough. Let's go through the tedious task of replacing one line at a time until we got the whole thing electrified. All right, that's some pretty good progress. I'm really happy with that. We are fast running out of time here, but that's our whole MI base, the whole thing electrified. That's all of our bronze and steel machines turned into their electric variants, and this is kind of the leftovers of that right here. Anyway, and you can probably see that I also spaced things out a little bit. I was just getting sick of all the clutter, and having all the pipes shared on one space is good and all. It's an efficient use of space, but it just makes it really hard to kind of navigate this area. So instead I just space things out a little bit. And yeah, the beauty of this system is essentially they're all set to the same settings of insert and extract on a blacklist. So it lets anything in or out, and the filters just happen here in the machines themselves by slot locking that first inventory slot there. That way it was really easy to just tear up all the pipes, put them back down again, and use this pipe config card to copy, and then just, paste, paste, paste. Each of these electric machines can overclock, if we can find one that actually is overclocking. So this overclocks to 32 EU a tick. As you can see there, every iteration, it gets a little bit faster. And at full production speed, that is like truly ludicrous speeds, right? That's really fast. So although realistically, we're probably never going to hit these numbers, I wanted to have enough power supply there with our MV steam turbines to cater to the remote scenario that all these machines would be on at the same time and max overclocked. Yeah, I don't see us actually hitting those numbers, but just in case, because maybe one section of it, like the copper, might be. So I thought, as a bit of a design principle, to provide enough electricity to each line just in case. So these MV steam turbines produce 128 EU a tick. So 2 of them will provide 256, which just so happens to be the capacity of these here cables, of the LV cables. And yeah, so 4 of them for 16 machines. I just put the MV to LV transformers here in the middle with a power line coming in from the bottom. So this one's outputting 256 down there, and this one's outputting 256 along that way. And now that I'm looking at it, I'm just realizing that a high tier to a low tier, like what we're doing, MV to LV, has 1 input and 5 outputs. So I think that means we can get away with this. So maybe I should have thought about that before I put 2 on each row, but whatever. Yeah, that seems right. And I also chalked down a few extra machines for the things like the output of the gold drills. Once I turn that gold drill electric quarry on, currently just disconnected there, yeah, these things will get processed. And wouldn't you know it, because it took me so long to do this, So we're all set next episode to pick up with Spectrum where we left off. And I actually had an epiphany. You could say I was struck by an idea of how we can get some more Stormstones. But more on that next episode. We've run out of time for sure. Let's clean up this mess and collect our loot. Yeah, we're starting to reach the point of the game where we've got so many resources that those loot bags aren't so helpful anymore. But anyway, thanks so much for sticking around. Hope you had fun. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now. Midnight Solution Bucket.